The Morning Drive podcast from Double T 97.3 is presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
I'm Mike Hebert, owner of Cantex Roofing and Construction. Every day is game day, and we'll get it right when it comes to your roofing, construction, windows, and mirrors. Call Cantex Roofing and Construction today. Together, we are one serving you.
Did you like that, my untrained eyes? At least I was.
Well, what were they trained on?
Well, I mean, I've not been to official coaching school or anything like that. So.
Oh, you haven't?
No, I haven't. I have not.
Oh, that's surprising.
I have not. I've not been to coaching camps or anything like that. I think that'd be a good idea if they did that for broadcasters, and broadcasters then went to those things. I think that'd be get some of the vernacular of things. Have a little coaching school.
I think it would probably be valuable.
Be helpful.
I would assume most broadcasters, it would be over their head.
Oh yeah, no, but I mean elementary stuff, like, I'm talking about, first, second grade kind of level, kindergarten kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. Painting with fingers and things like that, and how to do a X's and O's, on the grease board and things along those lines.
Why don't they call the Football 101 for women, just call it Football 101 for women and broadcasters?
Yeah, could, right? Yeah, absolutely.
You think anybody here, depending on the sport, if it's let's say if it's football,
mm-hmm.
You think anybody could test out?
Our guy, I'm trying to. I can see.
Rob Bro.
Rob Bro, maybe. No, I wasn't thinking about Rob Bro. I was thinking about Taylor Beatles. Is who I was thinking of.
Oh, Taylor definitely.
Taylor Beatles could. Rob could, because his dad was a coach, and Rob's a smart guy. I think
Clint's got all the words down.
He's got the words.
down.
I don't know if he could.
He uses some big football words. Yeah.
Yeah, he does. He's got a vocabulary.
Mm-hmm. He says words like pass pro.
Oh yeah, right. RKO and all kind of stuff like that. RPO and whatever.
Run kick option.
Well, somebody put that in the chat line yesterday. So I was trying to just be connecting to yesterday. But I think Clint. See, Craig Wells could too. He was a coach. He's smart. He's a smart guy.
Okay.
I think your intelligence level is pretty high. So
I don't know in the sport of football. I think sport of I think I'm a decent observer. But in the sport of football, that would be a little tough. But I think basketball and baseball, tennis.
Yeah.
I'm in.
Yeah, I think you are.
I'm in.
I'm not really sure. I think I just could provide fodder for people. Is what I do.
You provide a lot of things.
I don't know. Oh, goodness. All right, we'll have the Final Four for you tomorrow. We'll have it on 100.7. The Score. Our coverage begins at 3. So who are you rooting for? Or are you rooting for anybody? Or do you even care? The tip time for UConn and Illinois is 5:09. UConn is the 2 seed. Illinois is the 3 seed. There's a part of me that is rooting for Brad Underwood. There's a part of me, I don't know what to think with Dan Hurley. There's this controversy with him and the end of the Duke game where he and the official, Roger Ayers, get really face-to-face with each other. And there was an NFL replay official, former NFL, Terry McCauley, I think is his name, who called for, he said that Roger Ayers should have called a technical on Dan Hurley at the end of that game for getting right in his grill and almost touching him. They were face-to-face. And Roger Ayers, when he talked to Seth Greenberg on ESPN, said, I don't even know what you're talking about. And just if you've seen,
which is just complete protecting of himself. He didn't know what you're talking about. He didn't see Dan Hurley in his face.
Yeah, I mean, I don't.
That's just dumb.
Nobody
believes that.
Do you think a technical should have been called there?
The game is over at that point.
Game is over. Yeah, and I mean it's just happened. He makes the shot, and Hurley's excited, and Ayers went up to him to tell him that the shot was good, because it was it went off as his time was. He went up to tell him it was going to be 0.4 on the clock and not 0.3 is what he said.
So the game was not over.
The game was not over. They still had to throw the ball in.
It's a tough call. I like in Hurley's explanation of I thought he was coming to give me a chest bump.
Yeah, that's
he's
stupid.
He's just laughing. He's laughing about this.
Mm-hmm.
He just comes across as I'm above the rules.
When he says that, when he makes that statement, yeah.
He just, I think he's a buffoon. You asked me a question that you didn't, again, let me answer.
Okay, sorry.
I am rooting, against UConn.
Okay.
Because I can't stand Dan Hurley.
Yeah, okay, that's fair.
Anything about him.
That's fair.
Yeah, anything about him. So I liked his brother as a player, and I hated that he got fired at Arizona State, but I can't stand Dan Hurley.
Okay.
So I am rooting against them. Anybody but them.
Okay, anybody but them.
Anybody but them is my thought process. That's a joke. That's a joke. I don't know. It's really hard to say if he didn't make contact with him.
I don't think he did. I think he was really, really close.
Then I think you don't have to tee him up. But for Ayers to say, I don't know what you're talking about, that's dumb. For Hurley to say, I thought he was coming to chest bump me, that's dumb.
I mean, it was bang, bang. It was chaotic. It was, obviously.
No question.
And so and this was like Ayers. This was not like Ayers, like right away, this is Seth Greenberg talking to him. And look, I don't know Roger Ayers. I'll just tell you this. Anytime that I've seen him in Lubbock and I've been along the Front Row Joe guys or at the scores table, he is a guy that seems very congenial, okay? He is I would consider him a congenial referee. He's kind of fan-friendly and seems like he interacts with the coach as well. Unlike some other officials who are maybe stoic or don't have any opinion of anything. He seems like a good guy. I've never talked to him. I get that feel, that vibe. But when I was watching the game, I didn't feel like that was a moment where it's like, oh, you got to tee him up. That wasn't my reaction at all. Just watching. Brad Underwood. I mean, this guy's he was a JUCO coach. He's a longtime assistant. They've not ever won. So yeah, he's a good story. And then Michigan and Arizona. I've always kind of liked Arizona. I liked them when they were coached by Lute Olson. So
I'm rooting for the Big 12.
Yeah, I
hope Arizona wins it all.
I'm rooting for Arizona.
This is the Morning Drive Podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
Morning Drive, time for this day in sports history. Today is Friday, April the 3rd, 2026. Here is Jeff McGuire with this day in sports history.
Starting in 1923, two Black Sox players unsuccessfully sued the White Sox for $400,000 in damages and $6,750 in back salary.
Wow, that's a lot of money. But they were
suing the wrong people.
They were unsuccessful. Who should they have sued?
Bookies that they made the bets for or made the play for. 1987.
Well, they could have just taken responsibility for themselves.
That's true.
Well, sure.
Nobody made them do it.
1987.
That's not the way of the world, though.
Oh, no.
The Chicago Cubs trade Dennis Eckersley to the Oakland A's for 3 minor league players. And you can tell that Oakland won this trade by the fact that I am not listing their names.
At the time, Eckersley was, in defense of the Cubs, at the time, Eckersley was a starting pitcher. He was a starting pitcher for the Red Sox, too.
And he was pretty mid.
Pretty mid. He had kind of lost his stuff, and the A's made him a reliever, and a darn good one.
1993. It's sad that this happened on this day, because we're going to miss the other one. Cheryl Swoops has 31 points and 11 rebounds as Texas Tech beats Vanderbilt 60-46 for its first berth in the NCAA Tournament final.
It's a good day.
It is a good day,
yeah.
but we're going to miss the big one on Sunday.
Oh, you're welcome to come in.
Yeah, but y'all won't be here, so we can't do this day in sports history. Like, this is a group event.
Mm-hmm.
Well, like today, you'll give us like birthdays from the weekend. How about on Monday, you just give us a yesterday?
It was a Sunday when they won, so that's good. It was a Sunday.
Well, sure. I don't know why that makes it good or bad.
Well, because it's Sunday is the actual anniversary day to, 30 whatever years later it is.
2003, Andre Emmett led Texas Tech with 23 points and 8 rebounds. And Texas Tech, the Red Raiders, win their third place game in the NIT tournament. I did that just for Chuck. Over Minnesota, 71-61. Sorry, Chuck.
No, that's okay. I mean,
it does annoy me as well, but you are much more annoyed at it than I am.
I'm annoyed by it. It's like I know that Jamie didn't do this on purpose last night, but as I was getting out of my car last night at home, it was the middle of the fifth, and he said, "We're halfway through this one."
Well, they were.
At that point in time, they were. Yeah.
2009, Texas Tech upsets number 11 Texas A&M 4-3 as Chad Bettis pitches out of the bases loaded jam with a double play to end it.
Why would you call that an upset?
They upset number 11 A&M 4-3.
Okay. I mean, I don't know what was Tech ranked.
Unranked.
Okay, that's fair.
Is that how that works?
And in 2015, Cameron Smith has 6 strikeouts and allows 5 hits over 9 innings, and Orlando Garcia goes 3 for 4 as the number 19 Red Raiders upset number 2 TCU 5-1. It is National Chocolate Mousse Day.
Okay, I'm in.
And we're not talking like you make a mousse out of chocolate.
Right, no, I got you.
It's different.
Right.
I would be in favor of either one, though.
It's almost National Chocolate Bunny Day.
Almost.
Yeah.
Are you guys getting chocolate bunnies this year?
I'm sure the lucky ladies either got it or has it planned.
I mean, the most 1,000% overrated Easter basket candy ever. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, whether it was the one that was hollow, that just had no taste.
Right, the hollow one.
Or the big, huge ones. You're just like, what are we like? It's like you're a dog with a bone. You're just going to gnaw on that thing for a few hours?
What are we doing here? Yeah.
I mean, okay, so maybe you grab a knife and you chip off a little piece. Nobody comes close to finishing those things. Again, most overrated Easter basket item ever.
We like the
chocolate bunny.
We like the footballs, little footballs when growing up.
That's what we called eggs?
Them. We called them little footballs. That's what we called them at my house.
And see, I would tell you Hershey Kisses kick their butts. Hershey Kisses chocolate is way better
chocolate
than the little ovals, the little eggs.
Little footballs is what we call them.
No, they were eggs. It's Easter eggs.
We call them little footballs. That
You can call them whatever you want.
Yeah,
you can be wrong, but they're eggs.
Yeah.
You're allowed to be wrong.
I'm allowed to be wrong.
Before we get to today's birthdays.
Often I'm wrong. Yeah.
Tomorrow, Jared Hicks turns 42.
Okay.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Chuck, if I asked you, who likes to party all the time?
Party all the time, party all the time, party all the time.
Who sings that?
Oh, not Donna Summer.
It's not Donna Summer.
It's not Sheena Easton.
It's also not a woman.
Oh, it's not a woman.
What is the line, Chuck? Who parties all the time?
Party all the time.
Who parties?
We party all the time. I don't know.
No, my girl.
My girl parties all the time. Parties.
So that insinuates what?
A man.
It's a man.
Okay. With a
I knew Jamie would know
context clues.
High pitched voice. Is it?
I will give you a hint.
He will never get it.
He's a really funny guy.
He's a really funny guy.
He's a really funny guy.
Yeah.
May or may not also go by the name of Axel.
Axl Rose?
No.
Okay. Axel F?
These two look just alike. These two look just alike.
Eddie Murphy.
Eddie Murphy?
Celebrating his...
Eddie Murphy sang that song?
Eddie Murphy sang that song.
Oh, I had no idea. And you're right, he is a really funny guy.
Alec Baldwin is 68. Jared Allen is 44. And that's not right, 24.
That's not right either, I don't think.
No, I guess it is 44. And Tyler Smith is 25.
Who's Tyler Smith?
Cowboys offensive lineman.
Okay.
And in 1996, Ronald H. Brown, the U.S. Secretary of Commerce, is killed along with 32 other Americans when their U.S. Army Air Force plane crashed into a mountain in Croatia. The official U.S. Air Force accident investigation board report noted several reasons that led to the Boeing CT-43A, call sign IFO-21, short for Implementation Force 4, to crash. Chief of them being failure to command aircrew error and improperly designate instrument approach procedures.
All right, for those of us who are just general novices and watching at home, they flew into the side of a mountain.
Correct.
Yeah, I think he said it crashed into a mountain.
I did. In Croatia.
But he gave us all the other gobbledygook as well.
Yeah, he did.
That is this game sports history.
Yeah.
There's actually a pretty good episode of
30
Mayday.
for 30 on that?
That talks about how this happened and why and what changed almost immediately afterwards.
Okay. Probably not flying to Croatia in the clouds would be probably...
It's actually that, no, you're going to have the proper equipment on your planes is where it started.
Oh, okay. That's always...
It helps.
Good. Somebody says this. I think I agree with this. Peeps are, by view, the single worst Easter candy.
Okay. I'm not going to argue against you. But the Easter chocolate bunny things are nasty, too.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes, but I'm going to have a hard time disagreeing with the texter.
The Peeps.
Yeah. I got one kid who likes them.
Yeah, the lucky lady likes them, but that's her deal, not mine.
You would think Chuck would like Peeps.
No, it's just...
You like all the Peeps.
Do.
Well, no, not all of them, just the important ones.
That's not true. I like.
We need the tuxedo Peeps to show up. Those would be the Peeps that Chuck
like a lot of
the
Peeps.
Peeps that are high in the athletic department or high in the city.
I like a lot of Peeps. Peeps of all levels. Okay.
Sure.
I do. I have conversation with Peeps of all statures, Jamie.
I saw a guy on in the corner this morning out there sleeping. You want to go have a conversation with him?
No, thank you. No, thank you. This really is him, yeah? I had no idea.
It's a good song, too.
It is a great song.
The Morning Drive podcast from Double T 97.3 is presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
Live with Jamie Lent and Jeff McGuire. I'm Chuck Heinz. Reminder, we'll have baseball for you today. Opening day for the Rangers, so we'll have it with a special 2 o'clock broadcast time for the Rangers and the Reds from Arlington, as Texas off yesterday after a really successful start to the season, winning a series against Philadelphia and a series against Baltimore. So the Rangers take on the Reds today. 3:05 for first pitch, in case you'd like to know. Later on tonight on 100.7 The Score, it'll be the Astros and the Athletics from Sacramento. Vagabond A's is what they are. A couple of years they'll be playing in Vegas. And then we'll also have Red Raider baseball on the air for you today. 1:30 the broadcast time, 2:05 first pitch. Game 2 of 3 against the Houston Cougars. Game 3 tomorrow is at noon. Our broadcast time at 11:30 for the warm-up show. And then we'll have Red Raider softball on the air tonight as they take on Game 2 of 3, BYU. They won in run rule fashion with a walk-off grand slam in the sixth inning. How neat is that? 11-1 was the final. And the Red Raider softball team back at it. And we'll have it again for you on 92.3 The Hub today. And then tomorrow at 11:30 for our broadcast time. So that's pretty wild, isn't it? A walk-off grand slam home run to give you the run rule.
Yeah, don't see that a lot.
No, you don't. You don't see that every day. Mm-hmm. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, very cool.
All right. So I went over to football practice yesterday, do a little observation with my, untrained eyes. And this is what I saw. I saw Brendan Sorsby throw for the first time, Jamie, and my immediate reaction.
Here comes.
My immediate reaction was, he's big, and he reminds me of just at first glance, just kind of looking, of B.J. Simmons, because he's thick.
Mm-hmm.
And
he didn't say he looks like a quarterback, Jamie.
But he does look like a quarterback. But I mean, telling you, that ball comes out of his arm, whew, man. It was.
I was really hoping he was going to say he reminded him of Bryson Williams.
Well, you know, there's things you can't live down, and there's things you can't live down. Oh well. There's.
Okay, so my next question to you, you said it was the first time you'd seen him throw?
In person.
Okay. Oh, okay. That changed. I was gonna say you've not watched Cincinnati. You didn't watch the Cincinnati game when they came here to play the Red Raiders 2 years ago. You were in the stands.
I was. I just don't remember him. I mean, I don't.
That's in person.
I just don't. You know, I mean, I'm on the sideline, so I mean, there's difference when you're in the stands and you're watching. You know, and you can put the binocs on them, and you know, I can't. To be honest with you, I can't totally remember that game. I remember that we probably should have lost that game. We were fortunate to win that game. It's what the memory is of that game. But anyway, that was just my thought was that he was. I go, man, he's big, and so then, you know, as I'm standing there. And look, Coach McGuire does this with everybody. He walks up and down the sideline, shakes hands with everybody. He walks over and he goes, "Hey, Bubba." And I said, "Hey, Coach." I said, "What should I watch?"
Of course, I met Coach. That's my guy.
I said, "What should I watch for today?" He goes, "This." He said, "This." He goes, and then I said, "Man," I said, "God, I said, it's my first chance to see Sorsby." I said, "He's big." He goes, "Yeah, he weighs 238." And I said, "He reminds me of BJ." And he goes, "That's a good comparison." And then he ran off.
Size-wise, you know, with me, I would have gone like Ben Roethlisberger.
Okay, I could see some of that too. Okay. Yeah. That's
when I would have gone with.
Yeah.
But he's way more athletic than Roethlisberger is.
Yeah. So that's what stood out to me. The other thing that stood out to me is that some of the guys that he was thrown to now, just in looking at these numbers now, but I mean, I don't know what kind of a contribution this kid's going to make this year, but Sean Robinson, who is a redshirt freshman, he is 6'5", 225 pounds. He's massive, and so is Jeff Carpenter, who is a senior. He's number 85, listed at 6'3" and 250. I mean, just watching these guys up close and personal, I mean, they really stood out, just in terms of. We just looked from what I saw, we just looked bigger. Okay? We just looked bigger.
Okay.
Now, I didn't go down and look at the defensive linemen grunting against each other, you know, against the pads, or I saw one kick off in the distance. You know, we got about, I think, 25 minutes or so to watch practice, but that was my take on things. But I really liked how the ball came out of Sorsby's hand. I mean, because it came out with authority and zip, and they were doing fades in the corner over there to the southeast corner of the end zone on the practice field that's closest to University.
Were they throwing it to the shortest guy in the field?
There were times that they were throwing it to a short guy. Yeah. It's a funny guy. I'm not sure what you mean by that, but
you want to throw a fade to a tall player in the corner.
I know that, but I mean we had a
history of throwing it to the shortest guy in the field.
Well, they were throwing
because he had the ones who had the hands to catch it.
It was practice, you know. So everybody was getting a shot at it, and some were doing a better job with it than others. But
there's a handbook of things to complain about as a sports fan that you flip through.
Okay, is that one of them?
You know. Throwing fades to a short guy, it's one of them. Jeff obviously got the copy.
He did get the copy.
Yeah.
Goodness. He is on something today, isn't he?
Yeah.
Oh, goodness gracious.
It did feel like we used to, with Kingsbury, we would aim for Jakeem Grant.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like.
Love Jakeem. Great player. don't throw him the fade.
Yeah. Someone texted into you guys Tech Talk a couple of weeks ago saying they saw Hammond at physical therapy and how big he was, and that he makes Sorsby look like a middle schooler. I don't agree with that. This person goes on to say, I don't know what that person was thinking. Sorsby is slightly taller and at least 10 to 15 pounds heavier, at least, maybe more. Yeah. Will Hammond he's not close to 238 pounds. And he was on the field. He was in shorts and t-shirt. And I mean, he's moving around, but he didn't take any snaps or anything like that, nor would you expect him to. He's recovering from an ACL. So hopefully things are going well for him. I have no idea. The last time I saw him was at a basketball game. I asked him how it was going. He says, good. So that was the extent of the conversation. I mean, we just exchanged pleasantries, and that was about it. But hopefully he's recovering, but I wouldn't expect to see him at all this coming season.
Yeah, definitely not early on in the season. That's for certain.
Yeah. So that was my 2 cents on practice from yesterday. But it was a beautiful day.
It was a good day yesterday. It was a gorgeous day.
Well organized and all those things. And,
oh, really?
Yeah, it seems like it. I know I say this every time I go, but I'm always impressed at how the horn goes off and everybody knows where to go. I mean, like 175 people all know where to go immediately. I'm just impressed by that.
I had all the orange slices laid out and the Capri Suns.
I didn't see any orange slices or Capri Suns. Okay.
Well organized.
Well, I mean, I think it's impressive when you go to things like that because I mean, again, we're so critical of our sports teams, but yet when I peel back the onion just a little bit, I'm always impressed by how hard our sports teams work and how organized things are. And then I think about our own individual jobs and offices and how hard we work and unorganized we are, and yet we're more critical of people that are working their tails off and they're really, really organized. That's just kind of my 2 cents on things.
Your daily dose of sports and fun. This is the Morning Drive Podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction. Jamie's question of the day on Double T 97.3 is brought to you by Connecticut of West Texas.
All right, gentlemen. No wrong answers today.
Oh, beautiful. Love that.
Now we're in trouble.
I assume the majority of our audience is Dallas Cowboy fans. That may be a wrong assumption. May have all flipped to the squad in Kansas City, but I'm going to assume that the majority are Cowboy fans. But you can answer this any way you want. You answer it for your favorite sports team. The three of us have 3 different favorite NFL teams. I don't really know if Jeff has a favorite. He has a favorite one to hate on, but
that's true.
Yeah, you get to pick any of last year's Red Raiders who are heading into the draft this year to be on your favorite team. Which one do you want on your team? Not if you were given the number 1 pick, because we know everybody would say you got to take David Bailey because that's the number 1 pick.
Right.
But just like if it worked out and it made sense, which guy would you be the most happy that he's on your team?
Lee Hunter comes to mind. I mean, David Bailey obviously jumped into my brain. Trying to think if there's not really a receiver coming out that I think would be Mahomes-ish. That he would
a receiver that would be Mahomes-ish.
That would he would like to have. he would like to have. I'll say Lee Hunter.
Lee Hunter's a good answer. If I can pick one that I think the Cowboys had a chance at getting with their particular draft spot, I would pick Jacob Rodriguez. The Cowboys absolutely, they name a position on defense that they don't need. I'll wait. Yeah. So saying they need a linebacker is a lot ridiculous. But they also need a playmaker. They need a guy that can go and read the defense, read the offense, know where the play is going, react to where it's doing, and that is exactly what Jacob Rodriguez does. I have repeatedly said that I really do feel like Jacob Rodriguez has a chance to be a better version of Zach Thomas. And if I can get that kind of thing on the Dallas Cowboys, sign me up right now.
Okay. Again, I said there were no wrong answers, and you had every right to choose whoever you wanted for whatever reason you wanted. Mm-hmm. Okay. I'm going with Jacob Rodriguez. When it comes to me wanting to say, hey, that guy was a Red Raider or whatever, Jacob's a longtime Red Raider, even though he started his college career at Virginia. He's a longtime Red Raider. And so that's kind of what I'm looking for in this.
Sure. But
I obviously think he's a great football player too, and that he could really help my favorite team. And I think Bills Mafia would love them some Jacob Rodriguez.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you.
And the story with his wife and what she's all about.
Absolutely.
I think they would just take those folks in, and I think Jacob Rodriguez would thoroughly enjoy the Bills fan base.
Yeah, no,
I mean,
I didn't know Jim.
You might. I mean, you almost could get me to jump through a table if the Bills drafted Jacob Rodriguez.
Wow.
You know. Okay, that's how excited I would be about that.
Okay.
I mean, to be fair to Jacob Rodriguez, unless you're the Eagles, I think every fan base would enjoy Jacob Rodriguez.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's so unfair.
I think
so unfair.
Well, stop booing Santa Claus, and we can have a better conversation.
Well, maybe sometimes Santa Claus needs to be better.
You know, I didn't know that Jeff was going to take Jacob, and I figured you were going to take Jacob, so I just was going to be a little different. But yeah, you're right. I mean, any NFL team would love to have a guy like him on their roster. No question.
Well, maybe not one that already has a really good linebacker.
Yeah, but I mean, is he going to? Let's just say the Bills did draft him. Would he start?
Probably.
Okay.
Probably.
Okay.
He would definitely be a key contributor.
Yeah. I would agree, key contributor. Jeff
so maybe he's not starting, but he's seeing a lot of snaps.
Seeing a lot of plays. Yeah. Would he see a lot of plays with the Cowboys?
Every one of them.
Even on offense.
No, offense is pretty set.
Special teams.
I don't know. I hear he can throw touchdown passes, Jeff.
We haven't seen it yet.
Let's see here. This from the Yates Flooring Center chat line. Here's your flowers, Chuck. Great answer. I'd love it if the Chiefs took Lee Hunter with the pick they got from the Rams. Jeff, you forgot defensive tackle. That's the only defensive position Dallas is good at, but Rodriguez absolutely fills a huge need. Okay, well, there you go. Paul says Rod to the Redskins. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You have to build a time machine.
Yeah, right. This Jacob Rodriguez feels like the right answer to his leadership and longevity of linebackers. I got that right, didn't I?
You did.
Longevity.
Took you a second, but you got there.
I feel like you've improved on that dramatically.
I mean, I'm trying. It's one of those words. For those of you that are new to this fine radio program, longevity.
If you don't say it, your brain will start to forget
it. Keep it out of your brain.
Yeah, right. Longevity. Yeah, that's a good.
I mean, obviously, anybody who's going to get David Bailey is going to be happy with having him. He's a terrific player.
Sure. And I don't know that he fits.
I just don't have a team that has a top 5 pick, so that's where I'm not going. David Bailey.
And look, I mean, even if you have somebody that's kind of like him, he's probably better than what you got.
Good chance of it.
Yeah, good chance of it. 7:38 this morning here on the Morning Drive. Thoughts, comments, Yates Flooring Center chat line. Visual Edge IT hotline is open too at 806-771-0973. Jeff, are you rooting for anybody in the Final Four this weekend? Do you care one way or the other?
Go Big 12.
Okay.
I don't have a giant hatred toward Arizona. I know that it's heated contest between the two teams, and it means a lot when they face each other. But go Big 12.
Okay.
That was good. You let him answer and everything. How about you? Who are you rooting for?
I think I mentioned this. I'm rooting for Arizona. I like Arizona. I've always kind of liked Arizona. I'm not necessarily going to say go Big 12 because there's times when I'm not going to root for the conference just for the sake of the conference. I would like to see Arizona win over Michigan, although I don't have a big problem with Dusty May. And then, with regard to UConn and Illinois, I'm fine with Brad Underwood and Illinois winning. I mean, I think that'd be fun to see somebody different and somebody new, and they would be somebody new for sure. So we'll see. We'll have the Final Four on the air for you tomorrow at 3. First tip is at 5:09.
Your daily dose of sports and fun. This is the Morning Drive Podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
Hey, good morning, and welcome to Hour 3 of 3 on the Morning Drive today. Thank you for being with us this morning. Happy Good Friday to you. It is the Morning Drive on Lubbock Sports Station, Double T 97.3. We come to you, Jamie, Jeff, and I, from the First United Bank studio. Take your thoughts, comments, Yates Flooring Center chat line, Visual Edge IT hotline. We get this. Happy Easter, Chuck, Jamie, and Jeff. Anything special on y'all's Easter Sunday dinner menu? Not that I don't know if I'm cooking or not. I had threatened to burn something on the smoker or the grill, but man, I got to do some cleaning outside to get to that point before the lucky lady will allow me to grill something. Got some cleaning to do there on the old grill. So we'll see. We'll see what happens there.
Hershey Nuggets.
I'm sorry?
Hershey's Nuggets.
Hershey's Nuggets? Yeah.
It's on the menu for Sunday.
Okay. Okay.
Mrs. Lent sent the group chat earlier this week. What do we want in the Easter basket?
Mm-hmm.
I think she gave us all 5 things you want in the Easter basket.
How many do you get?
I just answered Hershey's Nuggets.
Okay.
That's like my favorite thing in the world.
The Reese's eggs?
It's mid.
Was she
mid?
Will she comply with you? Do you think?
Oh yeah, she knows that's my favorite thing. So
there's nothing mid about peanut butter chocolate eggs.
She wants her sweet Jamie to be happy, so she's choosing joy.
But sweet, but
hey, I was listening.
Or she just doesn't want to hear the complaining.
I was listening to the game last night, and it sounded like there were quite a few barks in the park last night. Did you notice? I don't expect you to take attendance of how many dogs, but it seemed like that there were quite a few.
Yeah, that's a good amount.
Yeah, and
that is an attendance figure I wish they would have put on the box score. Going back to hours.
I feel like they've done that before.
Okay,
but I could be wrong on that, Jeff.
And your dog Winfield made an appearance, huh?
Winfield was there the whole game. He saw every pitch.
He saw every pitch.
Well, except for the ones where his eyes were closed.
Sure.
Which was probably all of them.
He's pretty docile, isn't he?
He takes on the personality of his owner.
Yeah, okay. You're sometimes somewhat docile as well.
Sometimes somewhat.
Sometimes somewhat.
That feels like you're not really.
No, I think you are docile. I think you are very calm, cool, and collected. Yeah, I think that's you.
He's a pretty chill dog.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's see here. Okay, somebody asked this question. We'll get to comments from Coach Tim Tadlock. Connor Mohan will go tonight or today for the Red Raiders. He really needs a good performance for himself, doesn't he?
He does. I mean, just truth of the matter is, you're just not getting enough. Not great outings from your starters, but just okay outings. Just not getting enough.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been a while since Mohan has given you one. So, yeah, you're in desperate need of a pitcher to step up.
Yeah.
Starting pitcher to step up. I feel like Jackson Burns did that for you last Sunday and gave you a great chance to win that game, but you only scored 4 runs. But, yeah, you really... you expect guys to have a bad day here and there, right? I mean, you understand. You get it. But, when you're talking about 2 and 3 and 4 rough outings in a row, it's hard to win games. And that's the trend that you're falling into, is that you're giving up a lot of runs in the first 3 innings of games.
Yeah.
And that obviously has pretty much everything to do with starting pitching.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Somebody asked this question going back to last night. Red Raiders lost last night 8-6, and starting pitching was a big factor. And then frankly, their starting pitcher was a factor too. I mean, because Connor Udlin was really good through 5, and then he gave up the 3 in the 5th, and then they took him out. They had seen enough. They felt like he had seen enough.
I would say really good through 4, and then Red Raiders obviously got after him in that.
Got after him in that 5th inning. Got the 3 runs.
Had it not been a 6-0 game, partway through that 5th inning, he probably would have been taken out.
Yeah. Let him go ahead and get the win and see if he can finish it out. So in between the 2nd and 3rd inning, it was just really, really bizarre, and I have to. It kind of sounded like to me that it surprised you guys as well. Just when you came back from the commercials for the top of the 3rd inning, you said, "Wow, quite." You guys were talking about quite a bit happening in between innings, and you're like, "Well, what could happen?" And lo and behold, we find that Tim Tadlock got tossed in between innings.
Yeah, I mean, not a surprise in that you never see it, because you absolutely do see it in baseball, and not a surprise in when it came. A, he's sticking up for his player. B, his team looks a little lifeless.
Well, I mean, you guys talked about that,
and so maybe he's trying to spark his team a little bit, and but so it happens. I guess I was a little surprised that you normally see a manager out there arguing, and they're going at it, and then finally the umpire gives him the heave ho. Well, Tadlock was ejected before he ever got out of the dugout, so I guess that was a little bit of the surprising part.
Yeah. So after the game, Coach Tadlock was asked if there was build-up into the 2nd inning or when Caden Ferraro struck out with regard to him being tossed.
It was a build-up. I thought I kept my mouth shut for 2 innings and just thought and again, I mean, it's just one of those things. Caden never, and I hate to even single him out in this. Generally, when something like that happens with him up there, he'll give you an honest answer. He was wrong tonight. The pitch was in the box. It was there. And so, what do? But at the time when your player's giving you that read, you go to bat for your player.
And I would imagine that because of what had happened early on, getting down early there in the 2nd, and then feeling like that, because that wasn't the first pitch that they felt like that was not going their way. It felt like that maybe it was leading up to that.
I think Coach Tadlock, in fact, I think you heard or saw him say, "That's the 4th pitch you've missed."
Yeah. And so you get to that point, and maybe there's just frustration is boiling over a little early.
Yeah, a little bit. If he thinks that's the case, but if he's getting the sign from his player, the player's telling him it was out of the strike zone, and he respects that player's judgment of the zone or whatever. I would tell you that Caden is probably the one that complains about balls and strikes more than anybody on the team. Okay. But Coach Tadlock's doing what managers do. You stand up for your guy. You trust that he was right, and I give Coach Tadlock all the credit in the world for being honest and saying he was wrong. Yeah. So that means my argument was wrong, and the home plate umpire was right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This has been the Morning Drive Podcast, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction. Check out our library of Double T 97.3 podcasts at doublet97.3.com.